Apparently, the world's most popular streamer for that cartoon cosmetics store disguised as a shooter must have recently gotten bored making a bunch of 10-year-olds cry.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit!
And has decided to make our shitty community even worse by bringing over his fan base of enraged adolescents to Summoner's Rift. Until he either gets tired of his videos barely pulling 100,000 views nowadays, or the more likely scenario, he gets bored of League and goes to another game because he's worth tens of millions of dollars and doesn't give a shit anymore, so he does whatever the fuck he wants. But until that time, we're stuck with him. Now, even though I'm obviously the most qualified person to review it, we're not going to be looking so much at Ninja's gameplay, because 99% of us lower than Master know that we're never actually going to be that good at the game, and no matter how much we lie to ourselves, we really just use League as an outlet for all the pent-up anger that we accumulate throughout the day, and only log on to verbally assault people for 30 minutes at a time in a place where it's pretty much become expected. So in this video, we're going to be focusing on all the important things, like actual skill versus perceived skill, being overly critical of others when you probably just did the same thing the game before, and obviously his shit-talking ability. Then we'll use all this to figure out if he's ranked correctly. Starting out, you obviously have to take a look at his OP.GG. And at the time of this video, he's sitting at a comfortable plat 2. But does he really belong there? Well, fight fans, let's see what he thinks.
Yay! 26-8, 30-minute game. Most damage on the team. 10 LP.
Now, he doesn't come right out and say in this clip that he's better than everyone that was in that lobby. But he's very strongly alluding to it. So at minimum, we can see that Ninja has a basic understanding of one of the key fundamentals of being a League player, which is believing that you're better than you really are. Let's look at another one.
Dude, I don't deserve to lose, man. I don't belong here, man. It's so crazy. Are you guys ready for this? Dude, these 3 games right here, 16, 4, 11, 12, 5, and 17, 12, 8, and 10, those were all plus 10 elo. Plus 10. I lost one game, minus 19.
Now, if we think back to his OPGG, roughly 1,600 games played, barely positive KDs on his most played champions, doesn't see the irony in saying he only wins when his KD isn't dog shit, and shows a game where he goes 3-6 and is third in damage on his team, doesn't say anything, then shows a graph where he's top damage and stares into the camera like it proves his point. See, this right here is perfectly executed technique. You're goddamn right you don't belong there. And if these limp dick pussies would stop inting your fucking games, you'd be taking your Derek Zoolander looking ass to TwitchCon this year in a new Challenger jacket. I think it's safe to say that we've established his mentality is perfect, and he's a natural when it comes to League in that regard. But that doesn't really help us know what his actual rank is, since everyone from Bronze to Diamond is delusional about how good they are. So let's take a look at the next clip.
Yeah, my CS is pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I suck at CSing when I don't have a lot of, like, AD. So when I fall behind, and as, like, the minions get stronger, and, like, I don't scale up because I'm so weak, my 4-2 Aphelios down almost 30 CS to a guy he's destroying.
This is obviously not the same thing. It doesn't matter that the threat of a Blitzcrank pull into a 4-2 Aphelios should be able to zone him off the creeps. The fact of the matter is, this Aphelios hits creeps less than a Ben Askren Jake Paul fight. You're right, Ninja, fuck that guy. Minute later, Ninja goes to ward without his Aphelios, turns around, sees a Pyke alone, walks up, throws a Q, misses it, still alone, still thinks it's a good idea to fist him, starts running because he realizes he shouldn't be here, and then Gragas shows up out of nowhere to treat him the same way he treated that fan. And here we see another perfectly executed technique by Ninja, and the most important part of being critical of others. Having complete inability to accept that it was you that fucked up.
I have a Nocturne that is not ulting off of cooldown. An Aphelios that is afraid to fucking fight with his lead. Of course, unless it's under tower.
Ninja, obviously 100% right here. Doesn't matter they had no idea where the jungle was, or Aphelios wasn't with him, and that he missed his hook. It's still Aphelios and Nocturne's fucking fault that he ran up by himself to fist Pyke's ass, and instead a wild Gragas appeared to turn Ninja's cornhole into his own personal pocket pussy. Although, in this Samira game, he does start taking responsibility for some of his fuck-ups, when his first 3 deaths come from him overextending and not watching the map. But, to give you a little foreshadowing, up to this point, Shaco has been involved in 70% of the kills. Now, You might think that because Cat has been non-consensually gaping him for the past few minutes and he doesn't have flash, the correct move would be to play back and wait for at least your support. But that's where you'd be wrong, because this isn't Challenger, and the correct move here is to put yourself in a position to get dove. And then when they get cleaned up, you deliver the classic League line. We have a jungler? Because as a jungler, unless you clear your camps and run to my lane every single time, you're like a safe working environment for female employees at Riot HQ. You don't actually exist. Fast forward another few minutes to a drag fight where Ninja's seen positioning directly in front of a Baroned up Alistar and Sion without flash, like they're not just going to manhandle him like a 3-year-old in a gorilla exhibit if he gets too close. Well, Sion sees his opportunity and decides he also wants a piece of the Samara all-you-can-fuck buffet, but even though Ninja got caught, and it was only a Cloud Dragon and not Soul, Shaco is still a piece of shit. And I think that's something we can all relate to. So, we've established that Ninja obviously has the right mindset to be a natural playing League of Legends, and his positioning and rationale is pretty on par with his rank. But, if we cut to a pivotal part in this game, at about 9 minutes and 40 seconds, where Garen kills Cat and they go up 4-1, you see Ninja really mess up here.
Let's go, guys!
You never want to be positive right here. It's too early in the game, and you will inevitably jinx yourself and lose 99% of the time. Pretty low elo move to have hope, if I'm being honest. That just leaves one more thing to review, which is arguably the most important component to playing League, and that's the ability to shit talk. Now it starts out with a Blitz and a Cat hanging out behind enemy lines, but quickly show that they have a lower survival rate there than Owen Wilson does.
Wow.
As the other team shows up to tie him to the radiator and grape him in the mouth. And it's here where Ninja adheres to the teaching of a famous modern-day philosopher, that kids are bad, and they need to know they're bad. So he lets loose on them.
Are fucking horrible. Cat, Blitz, fucking quit the game. You're trash. You're awful. You're so fucking stupid. I literally told you to stop. I said no. Don't. And you fucking try. You're so bad.
Now there were only 2 swear words in this whole thing, but it was in all caps, so I'll allow it. But where he really fucked up was the typing. You cannot convince me that he was as mad as he is letting on, because I only counted like 4 typos in all of that. How the hell can you actually flame someone if you're not so pissed that every other word that you type is fucked up with added letters everywhere? Now he does flame a little more afterwards, but ultimately with the content and delivery, we're going to give his shit-talking ability here about a 7 out of 10. Now, taking all this into consideration, Ninja's clearly a degenerate piece of shit just like the rest of us that play this godforsaken game. The fundamentals come to him pretty naturally, and he's got a lot of potential. But Ninja, if you're watching this and you really want to take your League game to the next level, give me a call and we'll set up some coaching to really elevate your shit-talking, where you'll get exclusive access to insults like, "Hey Cat, next time you throw a dagger up, try laying under it instead of catching it." Or my personal favorite, "Blitz, I've seen better pulls from a hooker with degenerative arthritis." Pay for the Ninja ADC Premium Bundle, and you'll get a specialized list of insults for each support.